back to my channel. Today's video is my second update in my Pan Those Eyeshadows Project Pan 2020 that I am doing, and I'm excited because I have hit some new pan for this update, which means I'm going to be rolling an eyeshadow out and rolling a new one in. So if you guys are interested to see what progress I made this month and my updated numbers and the new shadow and all of that good stuff, then please keep watching. I will link the playlist for this project up above, but just so you guys have a little bit of background on what I'm doing, basically what I'm trying to do with this project is hit pan on as many eyeshadows as possible in my collection this year. So to do that, what I'm doing is focusing on 5 eyeshadows every month until I hit pan on those eyeshadows. And then once I hit pan on that eyeshadow, I will move it out and move another one in. A few of them have taken a couple months and they're still in the project just because I haven't hit pan on them yet, but I'm gonna keep working on them until I hit pan on them, and then I'm gonna roll them out and roll some new eyeshadows in. So this is a really good opportunity for me personally to just use the eyeshadows in my collection. I have a tendency to just focus on like a few that I really like, whereas this project kind of gets me out of that comfort zone and gets me trying eyeshadows that I might not necessarily have picked out. So it gets me to use my collection, and that way I feel like I have a more well-rounded collection or understand my collection better. Instead of just focusing on those few shades that I always do, I'm using shades across the board. So I think that's really good, and it also just teaches you how long it takes to hit pan on an eyeshadow, and we're not even talking finishing eyeshadows, but just to hit pan on one. And so you go out and you buy palettes, but really it could take you years to finish a palette the way like we're moving along with this. So yeah, I just think it's super interesting across the board, and it's also just fun to like really focus in and hit pan. It's so satisfying when you hit pan on an eyeshadow, and that's why I'm doing it. And it seems like you guys like these videos, so if you do, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. And now we're gonna jump into the numbers. So my numbers haven't changed too drastically since my last update. I still have 188 eyeshadows, 16 of which are single shadows, and then 172 of which are spread out across 11 different palettes. But as you guys will see, I hit pan on a new eyeshadow this month, which bumps up my number of eyeshadows that have pan on them to 8. Which means that my percentage is also bumped up as well. So last month I had 7 eyeshadows that had pan, and so my percentage across my collection was 3.7% with pan. Now I have 8 eyeshadows that have pan, and so my percentage is 4.25% of my eyeshadows that have pan. So that's exciting to see that percentage going up. It's certainly not going up as fast as I would like it to be, but I mean, it is what it is. There's only so much eyeshadow that I can use. I only have 2 eyeballs, and there's only so many days in the month. Let's talk about the eyeshadows that are still in this project, and then I'll show you the one that I had pan on, and then we'll roll a new one in. So I still have my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm still working on this shade right here called In Light. I really just use this with my finger, and I put it on my inner corner. So I think that's part of the reason why it has taken me so long to really even make a dent in it, because I'm pushing the shadow down. It's also not a super powdery shadow, which obviously makes you use the shadows faster because you're kicking up the powder. So I think this one's just going to take me a little while to hit pan. There is a little bit of a dip starting to come in, but not one deep enough that I think I'll hit pan anytime soon. But I do really like this for my inner corner, so I don't mind keeping it in this project because I use it pretty much every day. And speaking of that, I have my numbers in this notebook. So I used In Light 26 times this month, and I used it 20 times last month. So since it's been in this project, I've used it 46 times. So last month I rolled in this shade right here from the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette, and this is Aura in the metallic shade. Honestly, didn't focus on this for a lot this month because I was trying to finish another shade, but then once I finished that shade, I started working more on this one, and I like to wear this just on my lid. Sometimes I wet the brush, sometimes I use my finger to put it on. It's a really pretty neutral but shimmery shade that I think is perfect for like work or anything like that, and it's very like simple but really pretty. And I used that shade 10 times this month and obviously have not hit pan on it yet. The next shade that I have not unfortunately hit pan on yet is this shade right here, and this is from the Too Faced Everything Nice palette, and it is the shade Dream On. There is a huge dip going in this one. You'll see that in the close-ups, but these pans are ginormous. I feel like they're really deep. Like this shade right here, Kindness Is Free, broke, and you can just see how deep the pans are with that. So I've not yet hit pan on this one, but I use this a lot and I set my eyeshadow with it pretty much every day. But it is just a super easy shade to set your primer with, and I really enjoy using it for that. Because of that, I've used it a ton this month, and those numbers are, I've used it 27 times this month, like pretty much every day. And I used it 20 times last month, so since this has been in the project, I've used it 47 times, which again, that's quite a lot. The next shade comes from my ABH Jackie Aina palette, and it is the shade right here called Pinker. I love this eyeshadow. I think it's absolutely stunning. I wear it quite a lot. As you can see, I have it on today. You'll see it on actually probably in a lot of my videos, just in my outer corner, because I think it's such a pretty color. And there is definitely a big dip going in this one. Again, you'll see that in the close-ups, but we are not quite there. But I like to wear it in my outer corner, and I also like to smudge out my lower lash line with it. So I've been using it a lot. This month I used it 27 times as well, and last month I used it 18 times. So since it's been in the project, I've used it 45 times. So these are the 4 shades that are still in the project, and then I hit pan on one of the eyeshadows, and I actually moved this eyeshadow in last month, but I already had a pretty good dip going on it already, and it is the shade right here, Sidecar. I just use this mostly as an all over lid shade, and I used it with my finger, I used it with a wet brush, I used it with a dry brush. It was kind of just depended on how intense I wanted the color to be, and it was just a super beautiful shade. I loved this one and was able to obviously use it enough to hit pan on it, which is awesome and super exciting because I had a pretty good dip going in that already, but like just never used it enough to hit pan on it. So with me focusing on it this month, I was able to do so. And I used it 19 times to get that pan. So now comes my favorite part of these videos, and that is selecting a new shade to work on for the next month to take the place of Sidecar that I hit pan on. So I'm super excited to do so. So the rows that are available for me to select from are 12 to 191. So I have that in my Pretty Random app, and I'm gonna hit the randomize button, and we are going to select a new eyeshadow. So 49 is the shade. Okay, so the shade I selected also comes from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and it is the shade Jax, which is this shade right here. In the pan, I thought it was really similar to Pinker, but as you guys will see in the close-up, it's actually more of like a red brown and less like Pinker, but it is that dark shade. So it is interesting. I feel like all of the shades that I have selected for this project, although random, have been all really similar shades. I was hoping to get something a little bit different, but this is what we're working with, and I don't want to cheat or anything. I want to do it how I actually select it. So that's what we're working with. This is my updated color palette for the next month. And yeah, I am super excited to see what progress I can make in the next month. I definitely have focus on this Pinker shade. I feel like I have a pretty good dip going there, and then also the Dream On shade I feel like I have a pretty good dip on. So my goal is to get pan on both of those, and then whatever else I can do as well. So we will see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, getting to see the progress that I have made, and also getting to see my new color palette. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you check out my other project pans that I have going on if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.